So what continues happening as we move closer and closer towards full telepathy, or closer and closer towards unity? What happens when all of a sudden you're connected to every being that ever has lived, is living, ever will live? What happens? Okay, never mind. What I don't know. I mean, like in a rhetorical way of what's going on when we're talking about unity consciousness, or what's going on when we're talking about evolving into this place where all of a sudden there isn't a separation, or are we already there? And that just another question you could ask. Is what I was reading last night was that how do I say it? There I don't know. There are okay. First of all, so I'm about to use the word ego, and I don't want to use it in like in a negative connotation way, of the way that, like, I don't know, like new modern age or whatever. What do they call it? I don't even know. I'm not even hip enough to know what they call it. New age. That's what. I don't know, the way like new age folk like to talk about, like, oh, like you're so in your ego right now, man. Like, blah blah blah, ego or whatever. But when but yeah, so I wanted to give that prerequisite. But when you're when a person is acting from a place of refusing to be loved, and refusing to love, be loved, receive anything, and is just knows for a fact that it is the center of the universe, that it is the only thing that exists and the only thing that matters, and it just like doesn't want to move from the center of the stage, basically. What happens when that point of focus, ego-centered mind, moves into unity consciousness and realizes, so this is all that, like, all the stuff that I read yesterday. What happens when that ego is all of a sudden like thrown into unity consciousness, and realizes how not insignificant necessarily that it is, because everything's significant, but how small it is in comparison to the vastness that is the universe. I don't know. I mean, like what do you do in that situation? Because you can't just. I mean, you can't do anything aside from like deal with it. Like, you have to deal with that. And I mean, I know that I personally have had to deal with some really crazy realizations in my time so far on Earth in this ego, that have been like what I would have considered at the time to be way too much to deal with. And I don't know. I mean, like, I freaked out, I freaked out and just removed myself from everything. But imagine, if you will, imagine a world where you can't run away from everything. Like, you can't just I don't know. I mean, like, you can't even just lock yourself in your room and not talk to anybody, because now, I mean, there's, everybody has attained unity consciousness. Everybody is able to read everybody's mind. Everybody is just the same mind. Maybe just, maybe in the same way that we are already. I don't really know. In this theoretical place where everybody's mind is connected as one, in a more like tangible way than maybe we experience it now. I mean, in the way that you would you browse forums or something on the internet, or the way that you Google something, or the way you're on Facebook, and the stuff's popping up on the mini feeds, and little mini feeds, and then you have like your news feed. There's just like all these things happening, and you don't even. I mean, you may not be putting all of your conscious attention on it all the time, but you're aware that it's happening, and you're seeing like little snippets of it. And what if you were part of a collective, evolved hive mind that that was actually able to be like fully consciously focused on everything that was going on all the time. And what if you, like, what if also you were one who was not ready to accept that, like, you know, I mean, someone who's maybe never experimented with their consciousness before, maybe this is their first time to have some expanded consciousness, or maybe they're not ready to love everybody and accept the fact that they are everybody. And is that what happens with I don't know, like, how does the evolution how does the evolution of that work? Does your ego evolve along with you, or is your ego really just this kind of like subsidiary, secondary, or seemingly irrelevant component of the existence of being separate? I don't know. I'm not even trying to say like this is totally happening like right now, but like eventually it seems like that'll happen, and it's interesting to like approach this idea of like what would happen if that just happened, you know, like what like would you be able to accept it? Would I be able to accept it? I don't think I would be able to accept it. I mean, I would eventually be able to accept it, and I would hopefully realize that I would have to accept it at some point. I don't know. I guess I mean, once you like what I was reading about. Oh, this is a book called Stardance, by the way. It's this really awesome book that Tea Faerie let me. I guess I could have said that at the beginning of the video. I was busy wanting to say what I wanted to say because I was all in my stream of consciousness or whatever, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like what does all of that mean to you? What is that? I don't know what it means to me. I don't remember what I was just saying right before I like explained what I was talking about. I guess it's interesting looking at whether or not you even like what you think about evolving and what you would think if it would happen right away. I feel like I said that already. I don't know. I want to hear about what people think. I don't know if you want to like if anyone wants to like message me or leave a comment or something. I don't know. Yeah, stream definitely gone. Maybe I'll have more tomorrow.